My name is Pat Young. I started my college career at University of Maryland, Baltimore County and finished up at University of Maryland, College Park. I currently play for the Ohio Machine. This is the Under Armour Banshee. It's the mid-level lacrosse cleat. What I like about it is it's got a low cleat feel, but with the protection of a mid to high cleat. I'm usually a guy who likes to protect my ankles, but I don't like to lose the mobility and feel like I'm wearing a heavy cleat. UA Banshee, untouchable, unstoppable.
I'm Greg Gurenlian, known as Greg Beast. I played for the New York Lizards. I just retired from the MLL, and I face off for Team USA. An elite level face-off man looks for a couple different things. The first thing is the pinch points of the head, the flex points, how it wraps around the ball. The second thing you look for is the scoop. Is it rigid enough and can it help you get an extra couple ground balls? The third thing is you want durability. You don't want to have to go buy a new head every few games, so this head basically encompasses all three of those. The Faceoff Academy put Command X's heads and their prototypes through the grinder. They lasted throughout the entire grind. They flexed exactly how we wanted them to. So not only were they pliable, not only were they durable, but they were also used in a lot of different facets. So it came out with a pretty good rating. The UA Command X. Dive under, take over.
Founded in 2009, Lacrosse Talk Radio has the most live and up-to-date coverage of the fastest sport on 2 feet. Whether you're listening to one of our over 200 live youth, high school, collegiate, or professional game broadcasts, or our regional specialty shows, Lacrosse Talk Radio gives you access and insight to your favorite teams and players. Visit us at lacrossetalkradio.com for our broadcast schedules in the Rocky Mountain, Tri-State, and Mid-Atlantic regions. Lacrosse Talk Radio, the official voice of the MCLA.
My name is Pat Young. I started my college career at University of Maryland, Baltimore County and finished up at University of Maryland, College Park. I currently play for the Ohio Machine. The shaft is the Mesa, and obviously when you look at it, it's got a really sleek look to it. Black on black is pretty smooth. Feel it, it's not too rigid, got a little bit of a grit to it. It's very durable, but it's pretty light. It's got a little bit of a flex to it, so it puts a little bit more on your shot. UA Mesa Composite, balanced, battle tested.
Tribal West is the first name in lacrosse out west. For more than 15 years, Tribal West has been gearing up beginners to ballers. Our online store is super easy, and we save you time and money. And team stores, let us do your work. Our deals for both men's and women's MCLA teams are flat out lax-tastic. We just made that up. Sublimated unis, made in the USA, and delivered on time. Tribal West, proud to be family owned and player operated. Tribal West, look good, play better.
You only need to answer one question.
Will you accept the challenge to become?
No matter where you are in life, no matter your interests.
From award-winning business
and STEM to performing arts programs, there's a place for you. A place for you
a place for you at UVU,
A place to engage, to rise,
to succeed.
to become.
My name is Pat Young. I started my college career at University of Maryland, Baltimore County and finished up at University of Maryland College Park. I currently play for the Ohio Machine. This is the Under Armour Banshee. It's the mid-level lacrosse cleat. What I like about it is it's got a low cleat feel, but with the protection of a mid to high cleat. I'm usually a guy who likes to protect my ankles, but I don't like to lose the mobility and feel like I'm wearing a heavy cleat. UA Banshee, untouchable, unstoppable.
I'm Greg Gorenlian, known as Greg Beast. I played for the New York Lizards. I just retired from the MLL, and I face off for Team USA. An elite level face-off man looks for a couple different things. The first thing is the pinch points of the head, the flex points, how it wraps around the ball. The second thing you look for is the scoop. Is it rigid enough? Can it help you get an extra couple ground balls? The third thing is you want durability. You don't want to have to go buy a new head every few games, so this head basically encompasses all three of those. The Faceoff Academy put Command X's heads and their prototypes through the grinder. They lasted throughout the entire grind. They flexed exactly how we wanted them to. So not only were they pliable, not only were they durable, but they were also used in a lot of different facets. So it came out with a pretty good rating. The UA Command X. Dive under, take over.
Founded in 2009, Lacrosse Talk Radio has the most live and up-to-date coverage of the fastest sport on 2 feet. Whether you're listening to one of our over 200 live youth, high school, collegiate, or professional game broadcasts, or our regional specialty shows, Lacrosse Talk Radio gives you access and insight to your favorite teams and players. Visit us at lacrossetalkradio.com for our broadcast schedules in the Rocky Mountain, Tri-State, and Mid-Atlantic regions. Lacrosse Talk Radio, the official voice of the MCLA.
My name is Pat Young. I started my college career at University of Maryland, Baltimore County and finished up at University of Maryland College Park. I currently play for the Ohio Machine. The shaft is the Mesa, and obviously when you look at it, it's got a really sleek look to it. Black on black is pretty smooth. Feel it, it's not too rigid, got a little bit of a grit to it. It's very durable, but it's pretty light. It's got a little bit of a flex to it, so it puts a little bit more on your shot. UA Mesa Composite, balanced, battle tested.
Tribal West is the first name in lacrosse out west. For more than 15 years, Tribal West has been gearing up beginners to ballers. Our online store is super easy, and we save you time and money. And team stores, let us do your work. Our deals for both men's and women's MCLA teams are flat out lax-tastic. We just made that up. Sublimated unis, made in the USA, and delivered on time. Tribal West, proud to be family owned and player operated. Tribal West, look good, play better.
Buffaloes. On defense, number 1, Jackson Marlowe. Number 5, Blake Sandman on defense. At the midfield, number 6, Ben Lee. At the midfield, Galen Sloss, number 8. In the goal for the Buffaloes, number 9, Riley Russell. At attack, number 11, Ben Wharton. Starting at the LSM position, Cameron Babin. Number 22, on attack, number 27.
Hello and welcome to Clyde Field on the campus of Utah Valley University. Game number 6 on the weekend. All the marbles on the line for the University of Colorado and the University of Utah. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Dan Matthews alongside Jordan Harris. This is the RMLC Division I Championship game. The Utes come in after a solid and impressive easy victory over Colorado State University yesterday. Colorado had it a little bit tougher, but played a great game. Beats BYU in overtime, 12-11. And Jordan, if we see that same Colorado team here today, they could give the Utes everything they want.
Yeah, this is a Colorado team that's incredibly seasoned and experienced in winning close games. So they've won their fair share of overtime games this year. They've won a bunch of their one-goal games. This is a team that if they can keep it close in the fourth quarter, they have experience and have proven their ability to continually win these close games. So if they can stay close with the Utes, which is always a challenge for every team in the league this year, then they're going to have a good shot at this game.
Buffaloes will be wearing their gray jerseys, trimmed in black numbers. For Utah, it's the traditional white and red. Those numbers outlined in a little bit of black. The Utes come into this one number 2 in the country. The Buffaloes number 6. Both these teams are going to move on. They'll be playing in the MCLA tournament next week. Right now, it's about seeding. A win for Colorado could really boost them up in the seeds.
Yeah, at this point, you think they're probably going to be a top 6 seed, but with a win today, they could potentially be a top 3 or 4 seed. And in the MCLA tournament, that may make all the difference for your championship run.
Yeah, it definitely changes your first round outlook. The second round outlook is going to be difficult no matter how you slice it, because at that point you're going to be looking at facing another RMLC team or likely an SLC team that's earned its right there. Concordia Irvine last night hanging one on Grand Canyon, maybe proving that they're legit.
Yeah, Concordia is a team you do not want to see in the first round of the tournament, and I think that might be where BYU ends up, is playing a team like Concordia in the first round. So the Buffs are going to get a boost just for winning last night, but if they can win again today here, it's going to make a big difference. And for the Utes, if they can get a win here today, they probably have a pretty good argument to be the number 1 seed in the tournament.
So I have been corrected on the pronunciation of our Utah Ute face-off man. It's Abizada.
Abizada.
As in Band-Aid. Abizada.
And for the Buffaloes, number 15, Broderick Vitale.
Fixing a hole in the net, it looked like, and they've cleared the field. The referees are set. This crew is going to be led by a Colorado official, Nate Rinfret. Got one of the Johnson twins on this crew as well. I believe that's Jason, isn't it?
That is, I think that's Jeremy.
Is it Jeremy?
Yep.
Who can tell, right?
Cole Sloan as well.
Abizada makes the feed off the early face-off. Stout has the ball taken away. Nice trail check there by Blake Sandman. He's going to feed it back to his goaltender, Riley, who played lights out last night against BYU.
Yeah, really his best game of the year. And if you're Colorado, if you're learning lessons from the game in Boulder, you want to start quicker than you did. They were down 5-1 in a blink of an eye in Boulder. They could never really climb back from that deficit, so you want to make sure in the first quarter you don't let this game get out of hand.
John Roach dodges the far side, makes the feed to Carter Esqueda. Up top for Barker. Barker's going to feed Reno. Reno's going to move it along for Willows. Willows heads downhill, fires the shot, save is made by Costa.
That angle's very low there. Took an extra 3 or 4 steps until that angle was just not there at all.
Nice ride by the Colorado defense, forcing the ball back into the Utah defensive zone. They get the clear. Redmond makes the feed for Stout. Stout works it behind the cage.
And Stout last night,
Graney back there.
Yeah, Stout last night had quite a game against Colorado State, just like he's had all year. He's probably in the running, if not the lead, for the MCLA Player of the Year. Probably the best player on the best team.
Graney feeds Mackey over to Stout behind goal line extended. Marlowe barking out directions for the Buffaloes on the far side. Ball works up to Jake Stout.
Looks like they may be settling into a zone look here.
Stout and Kalana play catch up at the top. Coach Holman wondered why Colorado spent so much time sinking back into that zone. Well, if it's effective, that's all right.
Colorado's traditionally a very good zone team. It's been one of their strengths, something they can throw to mix up the looks on defense. You probably see him mix it up quite a bit today.
Jake Stout near side, goal line extended, makes the feed back to Mackey again. Mackey eyeballed by Marlowe. Makes the feed to Graney. Graney near side Stout. A little over 2 minutes gone by, still no score here at Utah Valley. Ball's going to work far side for Josh. He's going to kick it back up top for Kalana. Kalana picked up by Larson. Feed down low. Cottrell. They're defensively on Stout. Feed behind the cage, Mackey. Mackey makes the feed all the way up top. Step down by Kalana, didn't have it. Spins, fires the lefty and scores. Utah goes up 1-0.
Yeah, and that shot ends up blown away, and that was a place where Riley struggled last night, was getting those low shots, and that's exactly where Kelowna puts it.
Don't expect the teams to do much differently here tonight than they did last night against their respective opponents. Really, the mantra of both coaches is that if you play your game, it doesn't matter who you're playing.
That's right. For them, the lion's share of the responsibility for winning the game is what you do, not what the opponent does, and that's a mark of a good team.
Trayvon Hamlet ties up Abizada. Ben Palitz comes in from the side, scoops up the ball, gets knocked on his tail, gets back up. Palitz drops the ball back inbounds. Nice man ball there by Trayvon Hamlet. Unfortunately, Colorado unable to come up with the ball cleanly, so we've still got a 50-50 ground ball. Push, Colorado, Utah ball. 3 minutes gone by, 1-0 Utes. Utah works the ball. Stout gets the touch. Ball behind goal line extended on the far side. Graney up to Stout. Now it works into the middle of the field and over to Redmond. Redmond dodges downhill, gets inside, fires it over the near side shoulder of the goaltender Riley, and it's 2-0 Utah.
Feels a very similar start here for the Utes as what they had in Boulder, which is exactly what they want to draw up here. Talking to Coach Galvin yesterday, he talked about the mentality of the Buffs being an important part of their game. Not giving up early goals is going to be a big part of that. So you got to give up 2 here early. Now the big question is who can get the next one.
Buffaloes will send Trayvon Hamlet back to the face-off X. Sloss on the near side, Larson far side.
Looks like the Utes are playing again today without one of their junior captains, Aaron Felstead, who was out with concussion yesterday. Looks like he won't be playing again for the Utes today.
Felstead did not even make the trip down to Orem. Stayed home with his wife and young child, as I understand it.
Welcome to Utah.
Different strokes for different folks, right? I could have never fathomed being a father before I was, probably not even when I was, but that's okay.
Has a nice ride there by the Utes. They didn't win the face-off, but they end up getting the ball back on a nice takeaway.
I got my LDS education from Steve Nelson, who was with Utah Lacrosse News, and just learned a whole lot about the LDS culture. And
Steve's out in Nashville now.
He is. He is teaching and coaching. Good for him. Ball works across the top. Jake Stout has it there. He's going to feed for Kavanaugh Fernandez. Kavanaugh Fernandez dodges downhill, feeds the ball to Graney at X. Graney's going to come up the near side. Marlowe in tow. feeds it back to Kavanaugh Fernandez, over to Stout in the middle of the field. Ball gets moved along for Kelowna. He gets inside, it's 3-0 Utah. The Buffaloes are reeling early.
This is what the Utes do. They go on runs, and Colorado's going to take a timeout, try and regroup here. But this is exactly what the Utes do to teams. They are methodic in getting possessions, and when they get the possessions, they make them count. Run off 3 goals here in the first couple minutes.
10:44 to play, first quarter. 3-0 Utah. You're watching the RMLC Division I Championship presented by Prodigy.
You only need to answer one question.
Will you accept the challenge to become?
No matter where you are in life, no matter your interests.
From award-winning business
and STEM to performing arts programs, there's a place for you. A place for you.
A place for you at UVU.
A place to engage, to rise,
to succeed,
to become.
Welcome back to Utah Valley University. Take a look at the replay of the last goal, Kelowna.
Yeah, there's just no slide there. Kelowna comes in his left hand. He's able to get back to his stronger right hand there, make the angle a little bit better, and he sticks it far pipe. Utes are up 3-0 early.
New paint on the field for the Faceoff X. So
we're going to have to get the message.
We're going to set the ball down, and we're going to be playing with a blue ball.
Yeah, the X is a legacy thing. They don't use that anymore. That message will get to Utah sooner or later.
We've got Faceoff X. We've got the X behind the cage.
Let's draw X's everywhere.
I think we should draw X's like in the crease.
Might as well.
That's the dive point. that's where you want to end up when you dive, is at the X in the crease. 3-0's our score. 10:44 left to play. Colorado coming off this timeout. Let's see what Coach Galvin has drawn up. There's a face-off win, and then Vitale throws the ball away.
So that's twice that the Ram or the Buffs have cleanly won the face-off and then turned it over after having the ball in their stick.
Happened to Colorado State all day yesterday. Ball on the near side, high. Feet goes up top for Redmond. Redmond is going to make the dodge downhill. He'll find Graney at X behind the cage. Feet goes far side now for Josh Stout. Utah looking to open up a 4-goal lead. Colorado's got to stop the bleeding and stop it now. Ball comes near side, left-hand carry. Fires down to Graney.
Good recovery by the Buffs on that one. They were faster recovering than the ball was moving.
Elson with the ball at the top. He spins, double team comes, works it down to Graney. Inside, nice trail check there by Colorado. Ball loose, 50-50 ground ball is going to end up on the end line. And we're going to have the Utah possession. Feet comes up top, works across the top of the box now. Elson dodges lefty, feeds down low. Stout, 4-0 Utah.
Yeah, what's been impressive so far for the Utes is they're attacking in almost the exact opposite way that they did yesterday. Yesterday, everything was initiating at X and coming from behind the goal, and today everything's starting up top and still opening up those same looks. They're a diverse team in how they attack.
Yeah, Colorado reeling right now, and this is a team that's fought back many times this season. It's a different story when you're fighting it back against the #2 team in the country, and a team that, in my opinion, should be #1.
Yeah, this is, if you look at it here, this is almost a mirror image of what happened in Boulder. The Utes jumped out quick, and they were able to hold on the whole time, so the Buffs are going to have to do something different and even better than they did in Boulder to call back into this game. And it's early on. I mean, there's still 9 minutes left in the first quarter.
Yeah, it could turn into a really long day for Colorado, or they could figure out a way to get themselves back into it. But they got to start at the face-off X, where right now the Buffaloes, even when they have success, are turning the ball over and giving up free possessions to the Utes. Abizeta won that last face-off for Utah. Ball's worked all the way down into the far side corner for Josh Stout. He'll kick it up top for his brother. Jake now moves it along for Kelowna. Kelowna makes the feed for Kavanaugh Fernandez. He dodges straight downhill to goal line extended, cuts up above goal line extended, takes the shot. That ball ends up on the side of the cage, actually ends up in the goalie's net. And in the crease was Kavanaugh Fernandez. Here come the Buffaloes, their first real opportunity for an offensive possession.
Looks like
Jack Polk has it.
We got a pole number 27 for Colorado. Looks like he's banged up a little bit on that slide.
Nick Cottrell off the field. Turnover, Buffaloes.
These are the turnovers that'll kill you. These are the ones that aren't forced.
Transition opportunity. Feed Stout, goal, Utah, 5-0 Utes. Exactly what happened in Boulder. Utah came out early, Buffs could never recover.
And the Utes are too good to give them free opportunities. They're going to get their opportunities regardless of how the game goes. But if you give them the free ones by unforced turnovers, they're going to take advantage in transition. They're going to take advantage in offense or 6-on-6 offense. They're going to make you pay every time you give that ball up. And so far, the Buffs have given up 3 goals on 3 unforced turnovers.
Story of the Buff season, playing come from behind lacrosse. We're going to head back to the X now. Trayvon Hamlet out there for the Buffaloes. Need to solve the face-off problem right now. And it is a problem. Another possession for Utah.
And that's Chris Belcher on the ground ball. He's actually, earlier today, was named RMLC Rookie of the Year. A well-deserved honor for Belcher. He's a local product here out of Alta.
Buffs come out into their 10-man ride. They're going to need to create turnovers. Ball works far side. Utes work the clear. Cut to the middle of the field across the midfield stripe. Jackson Marlowe there trying to take the ball away. Feed comes all the way down low.
There's going to be a flag down on the Buffs. They're going to get a, not sure what they're going to call there, but they're going to get a flag. So it's another free possession here for the Utes.
Olivas comes in for Utah. He'll take his place at X. Kelowna with the ball up top.
Kelowna also a first-team all-conference midfielder for the RMLC this year. In fact, all of the first-team all-conference midfielders were from the University of Utah. Kelowna, Jake Stout, Aaron Felstead. That makes up your first-team all-RMLC midfield team.
Little over midway through the first quarter. It's 5-0 Utah. There's a bouncer from the top. Mackey scores 6-0 Utah over Colorado. This one's out of hand early.
Yeah, this is even worse than the game yesterday against Colorado State in terms of how quickly the Utes have been able to get up 6-0. Just all over the field, the defense has been solid. They haven't even given up a shot yet, or maybe one shot. But every time the balls come down on offense, the Utes have been able to take advantage of it. Looks like that flag will be waved off. I think it was going to be a push call, so with the goal, the penalty's waved off.
It's a Buffalo bench that likes to chirp, and right now they've got nothing to chirp about. It's pretty quiet over there, down off to our right.
Utes have moved Neeleman up here to take some face-off wings. He'll jump up from close defense up to the wing to take some face-offs, to take the wings on some face-offs.
Abizade wins this face-off.
So they'll go double pulls there, so that's Belcher and Neeleman on the face-off wings.
Belcher with possession. He's going to carry the ball into the box for the Utes. Spins, loses the ball. Stout's going to come in and pick it up for Utah. Utes already leading 6-0 over Colorado. A loss by Colorado probably doesn't move them much as far as what their seed looks like, but they're probably sitting. They may move from anywhere between 5-7 to 6-8.
Yeah, my guess is they'll be about, if they lose today, I think they'd be about a 6 seed, probably behind South Carolina and Virginia Tech, Utah, Chapman, and Michigan State.
Ball works behind the cage, up top now, Elson.
And you just see they have this CU defense just absolutely reeling. They're not moving in sync. They're kind of scrambling all over the field. Every pass that Utah's making, CU is reacting with 1 or 2 guys that's not sure where they're supposed to be going here. So you can see this on the replay. It's just as the ball moves, CU's kind of just scrambling. And by the time that shot gets out, there's nobody within 3 or 4 yards of that guy letting that fly.
So Josh, how are the wife and kids?
Yeah, right.
Jordan,
yeah,
how are the wife and kids?
They're great. Hopefully doing something more exciting than watching the game.
It's a rough one right now for Colorado. I may take a little bit of heat for being on the Buffaloes, but they didn't get off the bus. They better find their way to the field in a really big hurry. It's going to be a real long afternoon.
Well, in the way this Utah team's built, it's tough to come back on them. It's not like this is an offensive heavy team that scores a lot of goals, but they have a weakness on defense. Like, they're a complete team.
Yeah, the Buffs, again, they get possession of the ball and throw it away. Carry the ball into the offensive zone.
Yeah, it's four turnovers off the face-offs.
I mean, you have to cherish each possession, and to make that pass, when you have a step, all you have to do is walk into the offensive zone with the ball is not a good decision.
Well, and the Utes have to be playing at about 90% efficiency right now on offense, scoring on 9 out of 10 possessions. So unless your defense is dramatically going to improve, you can't afford to give up any possessions here. You need all of them. You need to make a comeback.
Yeah, 7 goals on 8 shots. For the University of Utah, Colorado's only got 1 shot on the cage. We're 10 minutes in.
And impressive diversity so far in how Utah's scoring their goals. It's not just all Josh Stout making it happen. They're getting goals from everybody right now. Although Josh on a short stick, this is a nice matchup for the Utes.
Feed inside,
Back
Stout,
brother.
Shot, Riley makes the save.
So Stout to Stout feed.
Kevin Fernandez feeds across the top of the box. Kalana.
One of the captains of the Utes as well. He's a senior, one of the few seniors on this team. This is a young team. They brought in a lot of guys with the anticipation of moving D1. So there's a lot of younger sophomores, a lot of freshmen that are out here. Not a lot of older players for the Utes. Cam Redmond, you got Kalana, who's a senior. That's about it.
Ball works down low. Josh Stout fires a backhand. It's going to go out of bounds in the near side corner. Utes are there for the backup.
Luke Graney as well, I believe, is a senior.
There will be growing pains for the University of Utah as they make the move to Division I next year. Very well could win an MCLA championship this year, much like Michigan won championships before they went D1.
And just so we're clear, Michigan did not win the last one.
They did not win the last one.
That was BYU.
I know. You're going to take credit for that one, won't you?
It was a good coaching job. And there you go.
There you go.
Started in transition. There's a flag down. I'm not sure what the call is, but that's what, if you're the Buffs, you needed something here before the end of the quarter.
Yeah, 7-1 Buffs get their first goal. They need a little mini run of their own. What the Buffs need now is a 2, 3, 4 goal run. Pull themselves back into it. Then, if they need to trade goals for a few minutes, that's okay too.
Yep. They're going to have to put together at least a couple runs here. Probably not going to all come in one single run like what Utah did. If they want to come back, it's probably going to, like you said, it's going to come in bursts of 2 or 3 goals at a time. Utah's back to a single pull on the face-off wing, so Belcher will be the only pull on the wing this time.
Abizeta pushes it out. It's scooped up by Pallets. Buffs will have another offensive opportunity.
Yeah, and it feels like faceoffs have been really tilted in Utah's favor, but it's actually CU's done a nice job of taking one of the better faceoff men in the country and getting that ball after the faceoff. They just haven't been able to capitalize.
Turning it over.
Yep, haven't been able to capitalize once they had that ball.
Willows rolls downhill, feeds the ball to Skada. Skada to Roach. Roach, low-to-low scores. Beautiful. 2 in a row for the Buffaloes.
Beautiful movement by the Buffs on that. They're starting to play Buffs ball a little bit here. They just need the ball on offense to be able to continue to do it. But I like the movement. I like the drawing the slide and then moving that ball quickly through a circle throwback at X. See, pushing it and then just a nice little spin here and low-to-low through a ton of traffic. It's like an old hockey goal. You get that much traffic in front and you put it low, it's going to be tough for the goalie to see it.
Right through the wickets of Costa. So 2 in a row for the Buffaloes. 3:40 left to play here in the first quarter. It's the RMLC Division I Championship presented by Prodigy. Available for viewing on Lacrosse All-Stars, or you can hear it on Lacrosse Talk Radio. I want to thank all 36,000 of you that tuned in the RMLC Championships yesterday on one of the platforms.
We're going to get a call here, a push on Utah. That's going to be CU's ball again.
Ball.
This is how you build runs. You know, if you ever want to make a comeback or you want to have a big upset in lacrosse, it's all going to start with face-offs. I mean, face-offs and goalie play. Those are the 2 ways you upset a team or you make a big comeback. Those 2 things have got to step up, and CU's done a nice job on the face-offs.
Russell making his first appearance on the field now. Ball works far side. Polk with it for Colorado. He's going to carry. Goal line extended. Make the feed up top to Koulias. Koulias carries all the way up to the Near side of the field, Neubauer comes on, gets the feed as he comes across the midfield stripe. Neubauer dodging downhill, makes the feed far side for Roach. Roach will chase down the ball.
Utah aggressive in their slides. You can see they're coming fast.
Nice job defensively for the Utes.
Coming fast. They're not going to make it easy for you. So they're going to bring the slides. They're going to bring it fast. They're going to put a lot of pressure on the adjacents, not let you make easy passes. You can see Stout's coming across.
Breeze picking up.
Yeah. You see the Utes bring Stout across to beat this 10-man ride as a way to try and spring some guys here, and they got a look coming out of it.
Olivas carries Dax for Utah. They lead this one 7-2, 2:14 left to play. The offensive efficiency has been tremendous.
Yeah, both
a little bit lopsided right this minute, but it's been tremendous. 7 of 9 on shots for Utah, 2 of 3 for Colorado. Ball works near side high, Stout. He's going to feed it down low through Watson to Olivas at X. Olivas spins and dishes for Stout. He'll kick it up top for Kavanaugh Fernandez. We've come full circle now. Stout again, marked up by Cottrell. The deja vu stops. This time Olivas will carry. He'll spin, feed it back to the near side for Stout.
Using a bit of that pick and roll behind. They love that. They love to set the picks at GLE. They love to set them right at X. A lot of movement, make it hard on you and switching matchups. That's some good defense right there.
Hard ride by Colorado.
My goodness, we called for a timeout for 30 seconds. Coach Holman is rightly
calls
upset.
a timeout.
Yeah, Coach Holman was calling for a good 6 or 7 seconds before they actually gave it to him. We could hear it up here.
Yeah, we heard it.
The wind
but it's hard
plays,
for the rest to hear.
The wind
7-2 is our score. 1:11 left in the first quarter. Utes lead this one on the RMLC Championship broadcast presented by Prodigy. I apologize, I misspoke. Felstead doesn't have any kids. Yeah, but he's at home with the wife.
He's at home with the wife, and thank you to his brother Gordon, who tweeted us at VV Lacrosse, gave us the update. I think he was recently married just this summer or just a few months ago.
I think it's time for Gordon to give some Atlax Talk Radio some love too, though.
Okay.
Tweeted us,
well,
even if it's to correct me.
Yeah, well, you got to check your phone for the tweets. They're going to do that, right?
Yeah, I'll do that later. I do periodically look. The play-by-play guy doesn't have as much time to look.
That's true.
So, to my credit, if
right
I'm looking, that's a problem. Ball works back into the far side corner for Stout. Stout kicks it up top. Kavanaugh Fernandez over to Jake Stout. Jake is going to carry over the restraining line into the box. Works back to his brother. Comes near side Graney back up top for Jake Stout. 43 seconds left in the period. Sloss is going to come out defensively on Stout. So the Buffs will press out. I think their objective right now just to keep Utah from scoring another one before the end of the period.
Yeah, it feels weird to say, but a 5-goal deficit feels okay given how the period started.
Yeah. Stout, that's Josh. Comes up to the far side wing, feeds Kavanaugh Fernandez, who comes above goal line extended. We're going to get an unsportsmanlike conduct.
They'll call a push. They'll probably wave it off. But you see how much attention Stout draws. So they slid the double team to him, and he's able to draw that attention. And not only does he draw it, but he's able to quickly move that ball back away. So if you look at the replay here, he plants that. He ends up kind of looking like a dive, but really he's pushed into it. So that's why you see the flag come out. They call a push. They'll wave it off. We'll be even, but the Utes will be up 8-2.
16 seconds left. First quarter.
Flag is waved on the goal. No penalty.
This may be the most first period goals given up by Colorado this year.
Yeah, I can't imagine.
Maybe the most goals in any single period.
Maybe a half.
We'll head back to the Faceoff X. Buffalo's facing an 8-2 deficit. Face-off win. Last thing you want, because 16 seconds was a long time. Ball ends up coming out to Cameron Babin. Marlowe
down a couple seconds left
throw the
here.
ball the length of the field, and it's going to end up with the horn sounding in the period ending. 8-2 our score at the end of one. This is the RMLC Division I Championship presented by Prodigy, available on Lacrosse All-Stars and Lacrosse Talk Radio. We'll be back right after this.
My name is Pat Young. I started my college career at University of Maryland, Baltimore County, and finished up at University of Maryland College Park. I currently play for the Ohio Machine. This is the Under Armour Banshee. It's the mid-level lacrosse cleat. What I like about it is it's got a low cleat feel, but with the protection of a mid to high cleat. I'm usually a guy who likes to protect my ankles, but I don't like to lose the mobility and feel like I'm wearing a heavy cleat. UA Banshee, untouchable, unstoppable.
Welcome back out to Orem, Utah Valley University, Clyde Field. I'm Dan Matthews alongside Jordan Harris from Lacrosse Talk Radio and Virtually Varsity, respectively. And Jordan, really, the story of that first quarter was unforced turnovers and unforced turnovers off of the face-off, because Colorado and Utah went 5-5 at the face-off X during that first period. But Colorado, with 4 immediate turnovers, creates a 9-1 advantage for the Utes. Our difference is 6 goals.
Yeah, you know, coming into the game with the Utes, the only way you have a chance to upset them is to win the possession battle. So doing a good job against one of the better face-off guys in the country of splitting it 5-5, but in reality it was more like a 9-1 face-off quarter for the Utes.
Babin tries to chase this one down for Colorado. It rolls into the box. Buffaloes have it. Roach makes the feed up top. Buffaloes would like to really get into early offense if they can. That would turn the tables just a bit.
Yeah, that was kind of their clutch against BYU last night. They kept going back to it. They were able to score a bunch of their goals last night kind of in this early confusion. Utah seems to be doing a better job of being ready for it than BYU was last night.
Barker carries to X, makes the feed. A skate that comes near side pipe. That was as pretty as it gets, coming on the near side hip.
Yeah, a lot of things are really nice about that shot. Not only was it a good hard dodge, but you get that shot coming around the screen, so you use your defender as a little bit of a screen, and the placement of it is just perfect. So you can see as the skater comes up the field, he's going to shoot right through a screen. Little rollback, a simple easy dodge here in the left hand. Uses his defender as a screen right off his helmet, off the left bar, the left pipe, sticks it in. That's a good shot.
Yeah, it was actually higher than what I thought it was. That's a great look for Carter Escatha, no matter how you slice it.
Those are tough saves for goalies to get when it comes right behind a player's ear and you pick it up late. So that makes it a great shot for the offense.
Trayvon Hamlet looking to make it a 50-50 ground ball, and he does. Buffaloes come up with it.
There it is again.
8-3, here comes the turnover. No, the Buffs get bailed out by the inability of the defense. That was Farnsworth to pick that ball up.
And Utah, credit to them, they're not making it easy on them. It's not like CU's just turning it over themselves. They're putting a lot of pressure on this ball as soon as they lose that face-off.
Barker to GLE, lifts one in, and there's a flag down. Buffs have pulled within 4.
Yeah, that's going to be the same call that we had earlier as when Utah scored. Get on that crease, take a push in the back, score the goal, flag will be waved off, but this is the run that the Buffs needed. 8-4. So great job tucking that in tight. Splits that angle, takes the push in the back, a little backhand fling right above the goalie's head. And this is exactly what you said. You said it's going to be, they're going to chip away at it. You're not going to make it back at probably a 7-goal run.
No, but you need 2 or 3 4-goal runs if you're going to do it, and you cannot allow another Utah run in this game. If you do, you will not win this game.
Yeah, and that's exactly how Utah beat BYU in the regular season. In the second quarter, they went on a 7-goal run, and even though the game evened out a little bit in the second half, it was way too late for BYU to make a comeback. So this is what they do to teams.
Buffs again on the face-off. They're going to work the ball backwards. This is not what I'd like to see them do.
Yeah, you're going to see high pressure here from the Utah attack. They're not going to make it easy.
Ball's going to come all the way across. Here comes the carry, the feed to Barker. Barker has an easy step over midfield.
Good patience, and plenty of time they have here.
Barker comes downhill, gets inside, the save made by Costa.
Costa is very good down low. He's good at dropping his stick and getting it put in the right spot.
Turnover, Buffaloes. Sandman gets tangled up by 4 guys. Nice job getting out of that by Blake Sandman. He feeds Nick Cottrell. Cottrell makes the feed into the box to Barker. Barker over to Willows. Great job by the Buffaloes.
Some good individual skill on display there.
Escada at X. He's going to circle back to the near side, comes just above GLE, kicks it back and moves it up to Willows.
Yeah, Escada's a diverse player. He's got a lot of ways to score. So you got to be careful as you're playing defense on him.
Ball works far side. That's Sloss over to Barker on the near side. Barker is picked up defensively by Lanigan.
Buffs, you can see they were pushing it there with that early offense, and now they didn't get anything. They'll sub through, get some of their offensive guys on and run a set.
Barker scored the last one for Colorado, feeds Willows near side. Willows sweeps downhill, makes the feed behind the cage. Escada into one. There's a goal for the Buffaloes. It's 8-5. Here come the Buffs, stampeding back.
Hey, sometimes you need to get a couple breaks, right? And that's one of them.
Right off the shoulder of Wharton. We said he's the best finisher. He can even do it with his body.
That's right. And I was about to say questionable feed, but I guess the ends meet I guess the ends justify the means. And just right off the shoulder, the Buffs actually got another goal similar to that last night against the Cougars. Yeah, a little deflection off the shoulder. Hey, you take him how you get him. Maybe it's a skill.
Buffs coming back, making it a game.
Yep, 8-3. You can see the Buffs sideline picking up a little bit here. They're getting a little bit of that lively attitude. They're tasting that comeback.
Yeah, and interestingly enough, the Utah bench has gone a little bit silent. 50-50 ground ball on the face-off. It's going to end up in the cross of Belcher. Belcher will carry downhill. He's got to look. He's going to take it in and score.
You can't let
Easy look for Belcher.
Belcher is a goal scorer. He's a goal scorer that is wrapped up in an LSM. He played midfielder from the time of 6th grade until he was in midway through high school, and he could score goals. So you got to slide to him.
Yeah, that was his 6th on the year. And the one thing that you can notice in particular about Belcher is when he was going in, as opposed to most men who carry a long stick, he actually moved his hands to turn it into a shorty stick.
Yeah, you can tell he's played short stick before. He's not your traditional LSM that's only played there. He's a diverse player. First team LSM in the RMLC and well deserved.
So Utah stops the Buffaloes' run at 4. It's 9-5. Colorado's within 4. Looked like it was getting out of hand. Still a long way to go for Colorado.
Really nice draw there.
Yeah, nice job by Broderick Vitale.
That was Utah's backup face-off. We got a little bit of this.
That was Colin Lee facing off for Utah there. Ball works up top for Gettinger. Gettinger will dodge downhill. His hands are free. Fires the shot wide of the cage. Buffs will get the backup on the far side. Both Wharton and Pallett's there. Pallett's going to head into the defensive end of the field. McDonald's going to come on. Russell will come on. So the Buffs running out their third line midfield right now.
That's what it takes to win an RMLC championship. You got 2 games back-to-back in less than 24 hours.
Gettinger loses the ball, picks it up. He's going to get called for a push with possession. That's going to be 30 seconds. Man up for the Buffaloes.
Colorado, we man up for 30 seconds.
Want to say hello to the Wise family back in Ohio. Their son Hart, an assistant coach for the Buffaloes after giving them 4 years of lacrosse at the Attack for CU. Ball works far side wing, Wharton. Up top now for Reno. Reno feeds Snodgrass behind the cage for Carr. Carr's got Roach. Roach will step above goal line extended, feed the ball back to Carr. Carr's going to get himself in trouble in the near side corner if he's not careful. Makes the feed to Esqueda, over to Reno. Reno to Wharton, down low. Roach alone scores.
Beautiful. And a good job by CU of feeling that pressure. When you're man up and you feel pressure that far out, that means if you can get that ball to the backside, there's going to be space for somebody to get a shot. And that's exactly what they did. Draw the pressure far away from the goal, move that ball, get it to the backside as fast as you can. And when that happens, then you're going to have a lot of space to be able to get a good shot off. Pull it back within 3.
For the 6th goal for the Buffs.
Yeah, there's that Michael Bublé song, Sway.
Yeah, we got a little
kind of
sway.
feel it. We got sway going on with our scissor lift. Steady breeze most of the day coming out of the southwest. It's a warm breeze. Beautiful day here in Orem. Good job there by Vitale. Again against Lee. Buffaloes throw the ball away though. That's that unforced turnover. They need to be more patient.
No, I don't see Abazid on the sideline right now. He has last 2 faceoffs he has not taken.
Abizade, remember? Abizade. I was corrected, and I'm glad I was corrected because I don't like to be wrong.
Abizade.
Tell my kids I've only been wrong twice in my life. I don't think they buy into it. One time I was really wrong. The other time I thought I was wrong, but I was really right.
Looks like he is down on the end there. Just came out from under the canopy.
Utah with possession. Kelowna feeds it up to Stout. He's got Polk working on him.
Ridiculously efficient on offense today.
Ball works all the way up to the top now. 9 of 11 for the Utes. 6 of 8 for Colorado on shots. Feed to the inside. That gets batted away, out of bounds.
Should be. Oh wow, they're going to get that to the.
That it's Colorado ball. They're saying that it went off of a Ute stick.
That seems like that was definitely a tip by.
Holman father-son duo beside themselves on the sideline.
Well, they'll get used to Utah in a bit.
Brian Holman giving one of the officials an earful on the near sideline.
Sometimes it's tough to see when they're inside. A lot of traffic, a lot of sticks up.
Reno makes the feed to Esqueda. Nice job. Wharton brings it off the pipe.
They're moving the ball well through X right now, though. Getting to the backside, and it's creating opportunities every time they're doing it.
Buffalo's had a chance to pull within 2. Here comes Barker. He goes over the shoulder.
Great save.
Nice job there by Costa. Utes come up with it. Ball gets batted around. It's going to get chased. Scoop for Utah near sideline. Nice job there by Hedden. He gets the carry into the offensive zone. He wanted to go to the cage, opted not to. Feeds Josh Stout near side corner. Josh will carry to the wing, or sorry, carry to X.
Here's that. Yeah, this is Josh bread and butter right here.
Yep, nice slide there by Jackson Marlowe.
It's like the Rams
feed
are ready
back
for
to
it.
Graney.
Or the Buffs choose too many Colorados.
Graney will work from X on pallets. Graney gets above GLE. Pushed back by Cottrell. Feed to Mackey. Mackey is going to work at X now. One of these guys is bound to be successful. Up to Stout, inside. That ball gets thrown away. It's out of bounds. Colorado ball.
So 2 stands in a row for the Buffs.
8:43 left to play in the first half. It's Utah 9, Colorado 6.
You see senior Luke Graney out there. Luke is one of the players that actually was on the team before Coach Holman came over and brought a ton of new recruits and fresh blood. It's got to be fun for him to be in the RMLC finals after the first 2 years of getting knocked out early and 1 year missing the tournament altogether.
Ball's going to work across the top. Reno dodges downhill, gets inside, fires it over the cage. Still 9-6. Colorado will retain possession of the ball. John Roach.
You talk about offensive efficiency. Both of these teams have been extremely efficient with their offensive possessions. It's just that Utah has been able to get more of those possessions from the turnovers from Colorado.
McDonald goes inside, loses the ball, ends up down on the turf. Play on. Feed comes for Kelowna on the far side. Esqueda
out of bounds.
Out of bounds on the far side.
That's one of those.
Nice job by Colorado. Restart. Ball comes to the inside. Feed up top. Roach bounces one past the cage, out of bounds. No backup. Actually, on the backup on the backside, Esqueda was there.
He snuck in there. Good hustle. And that turnover there, that's one of those turnovers because you have multiple lines painted on the field. You got the soccer lines that are just a little bit further. Makes it tough to know where you're at.
McDonald feeds Esqueda behind the cage at X. Esqueda has his man hung up out in front. He'll stand there. Patience. Watch the off-ball movement. Somebody will break free. Esqueda fires one over the crossbar.
I'd like to see one extra step there, maybe. The extra step to glory, as they say.
And a little bit higher with the cross coming down instead of going up. Ball works up top for Russell. Buffs looking to cut it to 2. Feed to McDonald. McDonald gets pushed all the way out up top by Belcher. Ball works into the middle of the field now. Kean Reno for the Buffaloes. Feed goes inside. Russell spins and dishes. Roach there for the backup.
Looks like we're going to get a
timeout for Brian Holman and the Utah Utes. That's their second of the half. 9-6 is our score. 6:54 left to play. First half. This is the RMLC Championship presented by Prodigy. Available on Lacrosse All-Stars and Lacrosse Talk Radio.
I'm Greg Gorenlian, known as Greg Beast. I played for the New York Lizards. I just retired from the MLL, and I face off for Team USA. An elite level face-off man looks for a couple different things. The first thing is the pinch points of the head, the flex points, how it wraps around the ball. The second thing you look for is the scoop. Is it rigid enough and can it help you get an extra couple ground balls? The third thing is you want durability. You don't want to have to go buy a new head every few games. So this head basically encompasses all three of those. The Faceoff Academy put Command X's heads and their prototypes through the grinder. They lasted throughout the entire grind. They flexed exactly how we wanted them to. So not only were they pliable, not only were they durable, but they were also used in a lot of different facets. So it came out with a pretty good rating. The UA Command X. Dive under, take over.
I found the only other profession where I always have somebody telling me what to do. We're back at Clyde Field because the people down below say so.
That's right.
So here we are. My wife does that.
Okay.
That's what they do, right?
That's right. That's right.
Okay. We sign up for that.
That's right.
We do sign up for that. The Buffs did not sign up for the start they had.
That's right.
They created it mostly on their own volition, but they have absolutely stormed back. They're within 3, an opportunity here to cut it to 2. And I think actually that timeout was out of a little bit of worry by the Utah sideline.
Well, you could see the difference in the huddles there. Utah came in looking like a team that had just given up a huge run, and the Buffs looked like a team that was up in the lead. And really, in reality, the Utes are winning comfortably here. 3 goals, maybe not super comfortably, but the Buffs look like the team that was in control.
Right now, the ball works back to the top side, near side. Reno feeds it across the top of the box. Barker dodges downhill, bounces one just wide of the cage. That missed by millimeters, folks.
Well, this is something that Utah likes to do. They'll funnel you to places that you're not comfortable. They funnel the top dodgers inside. Not a traditional look when you're playing defense. Sometimes it works. Sometimes you get great opportunities like that.
Barker feeds Reno near side. Reno dodges down to GLE, rolls back, has his man beat. That one goes wide to the near side.
I like that placement though. That's about the same area where Skata stuck it earlier. It's on that near side, off stick hip.
Buffs work it up to the top after recharging their batteries behind the cage.
See how much they want him to go inside here.
Here goes Barker. Slide comes. Barker works across the top. Feeds down low. There's a shot again, wide to the near side by Reno.
These are good looks.
Yeah, they're definitely getting good looks on cage. Escada to Willows on the far side. Willows will kick it up top for Roach. Roach. Barker, Reno. Reno's going to dodge from the top part of the wing. He'll come downhill. That fires,
nice save.
Saved by Costa.
Great save.
Costa makes the save.
Yeah, that looked like one that Costa picked up a little bit late, but his good positioning, good hands to be able to get his hands back around and make that save. But that was a pretty good look.
Yeah, the shot was actually a little bit softer because of the slide that came. He really couldn't follow through the way he wanted to. Hard ride on the far side forces Utah out of bounds. Here comes the restart. Roach feeds Wharton. Wharton is going to go one-on-one and spin back.
Yeah, and that's not something you love to see as a coach. Is one guy trying to make it happen, especially right on the sideline there.
Willows gets caught up in the middle.
A good timeout.
And a timeout. John Galvin, 5:17 left to play first half. It's 9-6 Utah on the RMLC Championship Tournament presented by Prodigy.
Founded in 2009, Lacrosse Talk Radio has the most live and up-to-date coverage of the fastest sport on 2 feet. Whether you're listening to one of our over 200 live youth, high school, collegiate, or professional game broadcasts, or our regional specialty shows, Lacrosse Talk Radio gives you access and insight to your favorite teams and players. Visit us at lacrossetalkradio.com for our broadcast schedules in the Rocky Mountain, Tri-State, and Mid-Atlantic regions. Lacrosse Talk Radio, the official voice of the MCLA.
And
Wharton.
Does Wharton have 3 or 2?
I'm not sure.
He's got 2. He finished 1 on the inside. We're back. 9-6 is our score. 5:17. Teams coming back out onto the field after that John Galvin timeout, and a good timeout by Coach Galvin.
Yeah, so that'll be their second timeout. They used their first one there to try and break the momentum early in the first quarter, but that's a good timeout. You save a possession at a time in the game when getting the next goal feels pretty crucial. The difference between a 2-goal lead and a 4-goal lead sometimes emotionally feels like a big, big difference, especially as you're headed into halftime.
.517. Buffs are going to start with the ball. Over on the far side, John Roach will get it from referee Nate Rinfret. We're back underway. Buffs again still looking to cut the deficit to 2. If they could make this a 2-goal game by halftime, after the way they started, they'd have to be flying high. McDonald down to goal line extended, has to kick it back up to the top. Coolias, nice job picking that pass out of the air. Should have ended up in the cross of Ganellan. Ball works near side. Escada. Escada looks to go one-on-one with Redmond. Down to goal line extended. Spins back. Slide comes. Ball comes up top to Russell. Russell is going to get rid of it. McDonald will chase it down on the far side.
Here's the pressure from Utah, and CU's been able to turn those into some good opportunities early in the game.
McDonald being worked over by Neeleman. Feeds the ball up top for Roach. Roach spins, dishes Russell over to the far side. Coolias. Coolias again marked up by Ganellan. Feeds the ball over to McDonald. Backside. That's Ben Wharton out of Steamboat Springs. Roach can't come down with the pass. They're going to have to chase it down on the far side. 50-50 ground ball.
That maybe could have been a
Neeleman can't get to it. Still loose on the turf.
Lots of chops there.
Finally picked up by Ganellan. Wharton tries the trail check, can't come up with it. Feed Belcher. Belcher with the carry. Belcher also warding as he comes across midfield.
Each team gets away with one there. You can see how talented Belcher is as a freshman here for Utah. He'll be one of those guys that sticks next year for the Utes, and then makes an impact for them as they make the transition to D1.
I'm thinking Belcher played football at some point in time in his life, because that was a great stiff arm as he came across midfield. Ball worked to Stout.
Belcher is a lags rat from the time he was young. I went to Vail with him when he was in 6th grade, and he was probably the best player in the Vail tournament at 6th grade.
Nice. Nice. Ball works far side now. Kelowna downhill to goal line extended, makes the feed behind the cage. Mackey drops it, scoops it back up, gives it back to Kelowna. Ball gets worked up to the top of the box. Stout feeds Kavanaugh Fernandez. Kavanaugh Fernandez rolls back, feeds Stout. Ball comes backside. Olivas Picked up by Cottrell, has to drop for Stout, who feeds it to his brother Josh. Josh on Jackson Marlowe. Josh gets above goal line extended, had a great look. That ball went wide. It was backed up by Jacob.
That's not one he'll miss often.
2:39 left to play.
Oh, man,
Jake
that's got to be a
gets
flag.
top side.
Yeah,
that was saved.
Can't run through the pick like that. So there's a pick at X and turn, put your shoulder through and run through it. You can't do that.
So we'll get a penalty coming up on the Buffaloes. Buffaloes will go man down. This will be their first man down of the game.
So Coach Holman's asking for 2 minutes here, locked in. We'll see what the refs come back with. Doesn't hurt to ask, right?
Never hurts to ask.
So going to give him a 1 minute. Not
locked in. Again, the Utah bench wanting a little bit more. Even if that 1 minute had been locked in, they'd have been a little bit happier. I want to thank the state of Utah for giving me an opportunity to work on the tan this weekend before I embark on a week down in Arizona. My eldest will be graduating from Arizona State, where he spent some time playing MCLA lacrosse. Stout fires the ball over the cage.
A little fake hidden ball trick there. Didn't seem like it got anybody. And most importantly, didn't get the goalie.
Sun Devils, a team on the bubble. My gut says without beating Chapman yesterday, they're not in.
Yeah, I think
if they were to get in, they have to be seeded lower than 10.
Yeah, they're going to be playing a tough time for them to get in.
Ball feeds Stout. Nice ball work up to Josh. Feed comes near side. Redmond all alone on the doorstep.
What
a big save there. Marlowe comes up with the loose ball for Colorado. Feeds it near side for Sloss. He'll give it back to the goaltender, Riley, who started it all.
Well, that's a perfect man-up play. You can't ask for better execution to get a better look in your man-up. And Utah's in a 10-man ride here. CU's breaking it. They're going to push the ball here a little bit. Nice give and go.
McDonald. Saved by Costa. I'd have looked for one more. Wharton was alone on the doorstep.
Costa's such a stalwart in goal. I mean, unflinching. He had to scramble back in there in the 10-man, and he stands up big, makes a big save. So 2 big saves.
Costa out of St. Anthony's in New York. He'll be on this roster next year as they make the move to D1. .61 seconds. Ball's topside, Kavanaugh Fernandez. He comes back, loses the ball. Everybody runs through it. 50-50 ground ball. It's going to be scooped up by Elson. Colorado with an opportunity there. Utes will look for one more. We're at 25 seconds left to play, first half. Ball up top, Elson rockets one, save Riley.
Yeah, great job.
Riley's looked great here.
Riley's coming into his own. He's kind of had a trial by fire this year.
Cottrell on the near sideline. He's going to have to dish it all the way across the field for Blake Sandman. 8 seconds left. CU has to press. Reno is going to fire one from the top right into the cross of Stout. He'll go the other direction.
He's going to have to save that.
Nope, went wide, just wide. I think he'd have been hustling a lot harder if he felt like he had to.
Perspective was off.
That's the end of the first half. The Buffs have made a game of it. It's 9-6 here at Clyde Field at Utah Valley University. This is the RMLC Division I Championship presented by Prodigy on Lacrosse All-Stars and Lacrosse Talk Radio. We'll be back in 10 minutes for the second half.
You only need to answer one question.
Will you accept the challenge to become?
No matter where you are in life, no matter your interests,
From award-winning business
and STEM to performing arts programs, there's a place for you. A place for you.
a place for you at UVU,
A place to engage, to rise,
to succeed.
to become.
My name is Pat Young. I started my college career at University of Maryland, Baltimore County and finished up at University of Maryland College Park. I currently play for the Ohio Machine. This is the Under Armour Banshee. It's the mid-level lacrosse cleat. What I like about it is it's got a low cleat feel, but with the protection of a mid to high cleat. I'm usually a guy who likes to protect my ankles, but I don't like to lose the mobility and feel like I'm wearing a heavy cleat. UA Banshee, untouchable, unstoppable.
I'm Greg Gorenlian, known as Greg Beast. I played for the New York Lizards. I just retired from the MLL, and I face off for Team USA. An elite level face-off man looks for a couple different things. The first thing is the pinch points of the head, the flex points, how it wraps around the ball. The second thing you look for is the scoop. Is it rigid enough and can it help you get an extra couple ground balls? The third thing is you want durability. You don't want to have to go buy a new head every few games, so this head basically encompasses all three of those. The Faceoff Academy put Command X's heads and their prototypes through the grinder. They lasted throughout the entire grind. They flexed exactly how we wanted them to. So not only were they pliable, not only were they durable, but they were also used in a lot of different facets. So it came out with a pretty good rating. The UA Command X. Dive under, take over.
Founded in 2009, Lacrosse Talk Radio has the most live and up-to-date coverage of the fastest sport on 2 feet. Whether you're listening to one of our over 200 live youth, high school, collegiate, or professional game broadcasts, or our regional specialty shows, Lacrosse Talk Radio gives you access and insight to your favorite teams and players. Visit us at lacrossetalkradio.com for our broadcast schedules in the Rocky Mountain, Tri-State, and Mid-Atlantic regions. Lacrosse Talk Radio, the official voice of the MCLA.
My name is Pat Young. I started my college career at University of Maryland, Baltimore County and finished up at University of Maryland College Park. I currently play for the Ohio Machine. The shaft is the Mesa, and obviously when you look at it, it's got a really sleek look to it. Black on black is pretty smooth. Feel it, it's not too rigid, got a little bit of a grit to it. It's very durable, but it's pretty light. It's got a little bit of a flex to it, so it puts a little bit more on your shot. UA Mesa Composite, balanced, battle tested.
Tribal West is the first name in lacrosse out west. For more than 15 years, Tribal West has been gearing up beginners to ballers. Our online store is super easy, and we save you time and money. And team stores, let us do your work. Our deals for both men's and women's MCLA teams are flat out lax-tastic. We just made that up. Sublimated unis, made in the USA and delivered on time. Tribal West, proud to be family owned and player operated. Tribal West, look good, play better.
You only need to answer one question.
Will you accept the challenge to become?
No matter where you are in life, no matter your interests,
From award-winning business
and STEM to performing arts programs, there's a place for you. A place for you.
A place for you at UVU.
A place to engage, to rise,
To succeed.
to become.
My name is Pat Young. I started my college career at University of Maryland, Baltimore County and finished up at University of Maryland College Park. I currently play for the Ohio Machine. This is the Under Armour Banshee. It's the mid-level lacrosse cleat. What I like about it is it's got a low cleat feel, but with the protection of a mid to high cleat. I'm usually a guy who likes to protect my ankles, but I don't like to lose the mobility and feel like I'm wearing a heavy cleat. UA Banshee, untouchable, unstoppable.
I'm Greg Gorenlian, known as Greg Beast. I played for the New York Lizards. I just retired from the MLL, and I face off for Team USA. An elite level face-off man looks for a couple different things. The first thing is the pinch points of the head, the flex points, how it wraps around the ball. The second thing you look for is the scoop. Is it rigid enough? Can it help you get an extra couple ground balls? The third thing is you want durability. You don't want to have to go buy a new head every few games, so this head basically encompasses all three of those. The Faceoff Academy put Command X's heads and their prototypes through the grinder. They lasted throughout the entire grind. They flexed exactly how we wanted them to. So not only were they pliable, not only were they durable, but they were also used in a lot of different facets. So it came out with a pretty good rating. The UA Command X. Dive under, take over.
Abizade and Trayvon Hamlet. Trayvon's an interesting story. Some people will know, some people don't, but Trayvon is amongst the very first players to come out of the Denver City Locks program. Has done very well for himself, ended up getting himself a scholarship to play his high school ball at Kent Denver, and now he's 4 years with the University of Colorado.
And doing a good job tonight.
Yeah, he's done a great job creating that 50-50 ground ball. It's loose on the near side.
That might be a...
They're letting them play on.
Doing a good job of letting both teams play tonight.
Yeah, Redmond's going to come out of it.
That was the first face-off we've seen from Abizade in almost a quarter there.
Bezade.
Bezade. I'll get it.
I got it. You can get it.
I'll get it.
Yeah.
But that was the first face-off he's taken since the very start of the second quarter. So going back to him a little bit there, and they're able to get the face-off.
Ball's going to work near side for Stout. That's Jake. Jake the elder And Jake missed the last part of last season after a big injury, a shoulder injury that he came back from and then re-injured it again at the end of the season. As a matter of fact, the re-injury, I think, took place in the Colorado game last year out here in Salt Lake, and never could recover. Nice to see him out there. There's a goal, Kelowna.
And the best offensive set we've seen from Utah in a little over a quarter. They come out of the halftime, and this is almost exactly what happened last time these two teams played. Went into halftime, it was 8-4 Utah. CU had put together a little run going into the half, and Utah came out and stuck a goal early in that second half to kind of pull that momentum back, and now it's 10-6. Feels like exactly kind of what we expected. If CU's going to be here, they're going to have to put another run together like they did in the second quarter.
They need a 2 or 3 goal run now, and then
probably one more.
They can play goal for a few minutes, and then they're going to need another run. But they've chipped away at it. They made a game of it. As we head into the second half, that was a quick one, 60 seconds in. This time, ball comes near side, 50-50 ground ball. Everybody overrunning the ball, and it's going to end up being scooped up by Utah.
Here come the attack. Nice job controlling that ball.
Ball works backward now. Aiden Christian with it for the Utes. He's going to feed for Elson. Elson, the shorty.
Yeah, in a game without
looking at the punt return clear. He rolls back and gets across midfield. Nice job there by Elson.
In a game with a lot of goals, these possessions are really going to add up, and that's 2 in a row for Utah to start this half.
Need to stop if you're Colorado. Don't want to let this one get back out to 5 or 6 or 7 goals. Pretty much would end it. Plus is that the season doesn't end for either of these teams after this game. They'll both be playing in the MCLA tournament. It's really just a question of seeding, really, for both of them at this point.
I think Utah will be the 1 seed if they win today.
Utah throws it away, breaking the Buffs' favor. I think they should be. I don't know if they will be, though. Because you're going to have, you had a 2-6 matchup here. You have a 1-7 or 1-8 matchup in the SLC. And Concordia Irvine's win over GCU makes Concordia Irvine a little bit more formidable than I think people thought.
Yeah, and Chapman had a really good, tough schedule early in the season at a point when Utah was coasting a little bit. Their schedule before the season looked like it was going to be a pretty tough schedule. Cal Poly, some of these traditional powers that actually ended up having down years in comparison to other years. And so instead of playing top 10 teams, they were playing teams that are now either unranked in Cal Poly or ranked in that 15 to 20 range in Cal.
Stout comes out of the box, gets the feed immediately from Kavanaugh Fernandez, feeds the ball behind the cage for Graney. Graney works back to Stout. That's Josh on the far side. He comes up the far side wing, feeds it to Kavanaugh Fernandez in the middle of the field. He's going to dodge downhill, makes the feed into the middle of the field, over to Josh. Now to Kelowna. Kelowna drops the ball. He'll scoop it up. Utes will settle back in.
Yeah, and this is the Utes' 4th possession of the half. They've won 2 face-offs. The Buffs made 1 stop and then turned it over before they even got to offense. So we have not seen the Buff offense this half.
Ball works into the middle of the field. It's going to be taken away by Colorado. Blake Sandman comes up with the ball for the Buffaloes. He's going to feed Nick Cottrell. Cottrell feeds it back to his goaltender. Buffaloes are going to head the other way. Here comes Marlowe. Marlowe will give it to Reno. Reno will make the carry across midfield. Stout will give him a little nudge, but not quite enough to stop Kean Reno. Reno spins, dishes up top, a Escada sidearm shot. That one goes wide.
Lost his ball.
No, they're going to give it to Colorado. I think that was an end line call, though.
Yeah, that was a good effort from Costa there.
There's a shot. McDonald goes high. Wharton there for the backup for Colorado. I think Colorado caught a break on that chase. Sometimes you just would rather be lucky than good or catch a break when you can.
Those are always tough calls for the refs because you have to decide not only where these two players are, but when the ball goes out of bounds and where. So a little sympathy for the refs there.
Ball works up to the top.
These are the turnovers that
can't handle the pass.
These turnovers have been killing the Buffs all day today. These unforced turnovers.
Utes have numbers. Stout inside. bounce shot. That's not actually a jump shot, not a bounce shot. Riley not happy with himself with the way he played it.
Yeah,
it's 11-6 Utah.
He got a good piece of that, but it bounced off him and in. And this is where the Utes will run you into the ground. If you make your own mistakes, the Utes are going to make you pay. And here you create a fast break off an unforced turnover, and Stout is able to get it down to, looks like that was Luke Graney. And he gets a shot that bounces off Riley and goes in, and just like that, start of the second half, Utes are back up by 5. So the Buffs are going to have to get some possessions here, just like they did to climb back in. You're almost all the way back to starting over. Beautiful face off there. Pulls it right back to Belcher. That's his strength, is these GBs. He has no problem picking up GBs, and anytime you can win that ball back to him, you think you've got a good chance of getting possession.
Up the road in Salt Lake City, Westminster lost in overtime to Colorado Mesa. Callan Ketchum scoring the game winner for Colorado Mesa. RMAC tournament next week is going to be interesting. I think any of 3 teams can win it. More so than any year before. There's a shot, finds the back of the net from the far side. That's Elson, his second of the day. And the Utes have doubled up Colorado at 12-6.
And these are the runs. This is exactly
this is not the run that Colorado can give up. They've given up 3 goals. They're down 6. Time is not on their favor right now, and they've shown they can put together a run. But the question is, can they put together a 6-goal run?
Can you put together a run like Utah does? This is what they do. They get these teams, and the teams may get a feeling that they can play with them. Excuse me, or feel like they can put a run together, and then the Utes come and put together a 4 or 5 goal run with almost no time off the clock.
It's 3 and 5 minutes to start the third. And 2 of these 3 are off of unforced errors.
Yeah, if you're going to beat Utah, you cannot beat yourself. You're going to have to play your game well, and you have to be able to force them out of theirs. You can't give them opportunities. They're just too good.
Utes get the touch, another offensive possession. The ball's going to be launched all the way to the near side for Kelowna. He gets down along the wing, feeds the ball behind the cage, through Olivas to the far side. Back up top, Jake spins and feeds his brother Josh. Ball works behind the cage now for the Utes.
And if you're the Utes, no hurry here.
Mackey being sized up by Sloss. Mackey makes his move from X. Sloss forces him down GLE. The pass comes up top for Stout.
It's good defense. Your short sticks can handle themselves without a need for a slide behind. It's a good day.
Josh Stout gets it on the far side wing. He'll go one-on-one with Polk, has him beat, feeds the ball behind the cage. Olivas near side Mackey up top for Jake Stout. Over to Josh. Josh fires one wide of the cage. Mackey has the backup.
Backed up by Utah.
You know, watching Riley for a few games here, you can start to see him come into his own a little bit and commanding the defense. He looks more confident significantly in directing the defense than he did when these 2 teams met in Colorado a few weeks ago. He's kind of embraced that starter role now that it's really his for the taking, and he's looking more like the commander of the defense.
Olivas makes the feed far side. It works all the way back up to the top now for Kelowna. Josh Stout has switched sides, gets inside, scores on the far side pipe.
You're going to have to send help to that matchup. You have to send help to that matchup. You got Josh Stout, probably one of the best attackmen, if not the best attackman in the league, matched up on a short stick. There's got to be some help there if you're Colorado. You see here on the replay, Josh just gets a one-on-one with a short stick defender, and he's going to win that matchup 9 times out of 10. Slides inside before the slide gets there, and he's able to put it away. So you have to send some quick help there, which is part of what makes playing Josh very hard. Is you either got to slide to him early and potentially open up the backside, or if you slide late, he's going to score goals, and that's what makes him such a good attackman.
8:05 left to play in the third quarter. Utah's opened up a 7-goal lead with a 4-goal run to start the second half.
Yeah, and so all that work that CU put into climbing back in, it feels like you're right back where you started.
Hamlet's going to get called for a push. I'm not sure I'm in love with that call, but I don't have to be. Ball works up to the top. Redmond has it. He's going to feed Stout, subbing through the box. Kelowna will follow Stout coming across the top.
And if CU can't get a face-off here, it's going to continue to tilt in Utah's favor. Kind of their formula there in the second quarter is they cleaned up the turnovers a little bit, won some face-offs, cut the ball to the offense, and they had a good chance of coming back. But now it's tilted heavily in Utah's favor.
Ball works far side for Josh Stout. He kicks it back to Redmond. Redmond will carry to the middle of the field, feeds the ball to Jake on the near side. Again down low. Josh Stout has time, room, and the save is made. Nice save there by Riley. Marlowe
He's got a lot of pressure.
Picks it up on the far side and feeds it back in play.
Oh boy.
Ball comes up front. That's going to be an easy
save,
shot.
Riley.
Nice save though by Riley. Another feed out front.
Oh,
that
my
one
goodness.
finds the back of the cage.
That was incredible stick work in front of the cage there. Riley did a great job to make one save, make a second. It looked like he got a stick on that ball that was fed back from X. And he's able to, Utah's still able to get the goal.
It's an 8-goal game now. Colorado looking at the close of the RMLC championship. They'll sit and wait for our announcements on Lacrosse Talk Radio tomorrow of the MCLA Division I and Division II brackets. Division II will come out first. We'll have an expanded version of College Lax Weekly. We're going to start it a little late at 6 p.m. Mountain Time. That'll be 8 p.m. on the East Coast. That'll be about the time that the Division II bracket should be released.
There's another turnover off a face-off. You win the face-off finally. Turn it over before you can get the ball to the offense.
We'll talk a little NCAA lacrosse with Paul Carcaterra at 8:10 Eastern, pending that his flight has landed. Then we will get a chance to speak with there's an interference call. We'll get a chance to speak with the head coach at Bucknell. Have a couple of other interviews in the works. We'll release the brackets. Have interviews lined up with Kennesaw, Concordia Irvine, and a couple of others as well. Teams that we think are really just trying to determine where they're going to be seated and talk with the coaches about how they feel about where they ended up and what they're going to need to do to be successful in the dance.
Yeah, and in the MCLA, the criteria is not entirely clear. They did another good save here.
Shot by Roach went high.
It's not entirely clear how they make the selections, and so it changes year to year, which makes the bracket release kind of an exciting time because you get to see teams that you didn't expect to make the tournament or teams that you didn't expect to be seated where they are. I think last year, admittedly, I think BYU being a #1 was probably wrong and a surprise for everybody. But with the bracket, with the way it's released, it makes it exciting.
Yeah, not a doubt about it. We're looking forward to releasing it. We love our partnership with the MCLA as the official radio home on Lacrosse Talk Radio.
Backup's going to go to Utah.
Unfortunately, as I stated, I will be in Arizona. I will be unable to lead the play-by-play crew for the MCLA tournament this year. But seems like we've already got the gig lined up for next year. Thanks to Rick Cladis.
Thanks to aggressive rides.
Thanks to everybody for making sure that Lacrosse Talk Radio was a part of this RMLC tournament.
You can see the Buffs upping the aggressiveness here on the ride. They gotta make some turnovers happen, and this is a good place for them to do it. It's a place they're comfortable adding pressure.
There's the look at one. That ball is out of bounds. It'll be Colorado ball. Nice pressure by the Buffaloes.
Yeah, that's exactly what you need.
Buffs need an 8-goal run. Not sure if they've got it in them. Cottrell with the ball, far side, is going to carry it to the middle. He'll make the feed for Neubauer. Neubauer gets the touch for Colorado. He'll feed to Polk. Polk skip past Wharton. Wharton steps inside, has to drop it up top for Roach. Barker walks into a triple team, loses the ball. John Galvin calls a timeout. 4:33 left to play, third quarter. It's Utah 14, Colorado 6. This is the RMLC Championship Tournament presented by Prodigy.
Founded in 2009, Lacrosse Talk Radio has the most live and up-to-date coverage of the fastest sport on 2 feet. Whether you're listening to one of our over 200 live youth, high school, collegiate, or professional game broadcasts, or our regional specialty shows, Lacrosse Talk Radio gives you access and insight to your favorite teams and players. Visit us at lacrossetalkradio.com for our broadcast schedules in the Rocky Mountain, Tri-State, and Mid-Atlantic regions. Lacrosse Talk Radio, the official voice of the MCLA.
My name is Pat Young. I started my college career at University of Maryland, Baltimore County, and finished up at University of Maryland College Park. I currently play for the Ohio Machine. The shaft is the Mesa, and obviously when you look at it, it's got a really sleek look to it. Black on black, it's pretty smooth. Feel it, it's not too rigid, got a little bit of a grit to it. It's very durable, but it's pretty light. It's got a little bit of a flex to it, so it puts a little bit more on your shot. UA Mesa Composite, balanced, battle tested.
Back underway here in Orem, Utah. Buffaloes with the ball. They've dug themselves a hole again. 5 consecutive for Utah, makes it an 8-goal game after the Buffaloes worked so hard to get themselves back into it.
Yeah, and the Utes are mixing up their defense again here. You can see number 32, Cam Redmond's locking his man off here. That forces CU to use something different than they probably drew up in the timeout.
Nice rotation, Wharton finishes.
No problem.
Flag down. And I'm not sure that that's not going to be a minute. They could give them a minute, or it could be a push. Goal's good. And they are going to wipe off the flag as a push.
And that's a nice job by CU. Like I said, the Utes came out, locked somebody off. What that typically does, if you're coming out of timeout, you may have drawn up a play, drawn up a motion that you'd like to run, and all of a sudden you have a guy that's locked off. You have to adapt on the fly, and Colorado did a good job of doing that, be able to find the inside look.
Pac-12 football action here. The Utes leading by a touchdown over the Buffaloes.
I'd rather not talk about Utah football.
I understand, but sometimes it has to be talked about.
Sad time as a BYU fan. Dark times.
These are dark times if you're a BYU fan, and I grew up enjoying Lavelle Edwards and BYU football.
It's dark times.
But they'll figure it out. They'll figure it out.
Yeah, and this is going to be a good ride for Colorado here. They need to come up with this ball.
Yeah, Hamlet can't come up with it. It's still loose. Larson loses it. It's going to be scooped up by Utah.
Those are the ground balls that you need. If you want any chance of coming back in this game, you can't give up the ones that are in your stick. And Utah obviously bringing a ton of pressure, making it hard. But if you're Colorado, you got to just cherish those possessions right now.
Stout takes it off his body and picks the ball up. Goes down low. Olivas makes the feed into the middle of the field.
Good
That
tip
gets
on
away.
the defense.
Nice job. Pass was intended for Rylan Lemons. It's going to be Olivas that scoops up the ball in the near side corner.
So another ball that's in Colorado's stick that ends up with a Ute possession.
Just under 3 minutes left to play in the third. 14-7. Utah with the lead over Colorado.
Looks like Colorado might be showing a different look on defense as well here. Can't tell if they're bookending here or if this is a normal invert look for him. We see the Utah team get to this position often. I think it's something they're trying to actively get the offense hung up, or the defense hung up.
Ball's going to work near side for Sarton. He'll dish down low.
Yeah, that's a play they love. They'll throw it up from the wing, throw it down, and then follow it up right up with a pick.
Stout makes the feed across the top. Kevin Fernandez, he steps down.
There's the pick.
Works it to Jake.
Almost every time you see him throw that ball down from the top, they'll follow it with a pick.
All the way back up to Jacob Stout. Works to Mackey. Mackey will kick it up top. Long possession. Buffalo's calling for the timer, and there it is. Feed goes far side. Works to Kavanaugh Fernandez. He'll dodge downhill, feeds the middle of the field. Bouncer goes wide. Shot clock still on.
It stays on there. And if you're Utah, why not? Why not milk the clock for all it's worth? They've got to make it 7 goals. There should be no hurry.
Take all 30 and roll it into the corner. Instead, they're going to throw it away up top, off sides, but we're going to get a push. That's going to wipe.
Oh. Whoa.
They're going to give the ball to Colorado. I thought they called a push at first.
Yeah, questionable call.
Ball works far side. Liscada with it. Buffs look to cut the deficit to 6. Lots of time left.
Yep.
Need one here. Need a run at the beginning of the 4th. Try to turn the momentum. Ball works near side. McDonald with it. He makes the feed to the top for Russell. Russell's been pretty quiet today after a big night last night for the Buffaloes, including the game winner. McDonald tries to back his man down, makes the feed behind the cage. Esqueda rockets one off the helmet of Hedden. So I guess you could say that's using your Hedden.
That's pretty good.
Right, that? Gettinger. Far side wing, carries down to GLE, feeds Wharton. 30 seconds left to play here in the first half. Russell feeds Roach. Roach to Gettinger. Gettinger across to McDonald. McDonald makes the feed. Esqueda gets up top and scores. What a beautiful shot right inside the far side pipe.
Yeah, you can't place it any better than that. That's a beautiful shot.
So we've made it 14-8. The Buffs to within 6.
Yeah, you see Esqueda just curl up. The Utes that entire time weren't sliding to almost anybody. That time Esqueda makes him pay with just a perfectly placed shot. Doesn't get a better placement than that.
Yeah, that ball hit just inside far side pipe. And if you can describe it one way, it was like working its way around the toilet bowl ring.
Yeah, that's right. So you need another one here. Gotta get 2 in a row, right?
And whether that comes now or that comes at the beginning of quarter 4.
For the sake of a fun game to watch, hopefully Colorado makes it a game. If you're a Utah fan, you're probably hoping the opposite.
Ball's gonna find Redmond. Redmond's gonna go downhill. Save is gonna be made by Riley. It bounces way up into the air, into the corner. Time's going to run out, and we'll go to the 4th. It's 14-8. The efficiency in this game is extraordinary between these two teams. We'll be back with the 4th frame right after these words from our sponsors on the RMLC Championships presented by Prodigy.
My name is Pat Young. I started my college career at University of Maryland, Baltimore County and finished up at University of Maryland College Park. I currently play for the Ohio Machine. The shaft is the Mesa, and obviously when you look at it, it's got a really sleek look to it. Black on black, it's pretty smooth. Feel it, it's not too rigid, got a little bit of a grit to it. It's very durable, but it's pretty light. It's got a little bit of a flex to it, so it puts a little bit more on your shot. UA Mesa Composite, balanced, battle tested.
Tribal West is the first name in lacrosse out west. For more than 15 years, Tribal West has been gearing up beginners to ballers. Our online store is super easy, and we save you time and money. And team stores, let us do your work. Our deals for both men's and women's MCLA teams are flat out lax-tastic. We just made that up. Sublimated unis, made in the USA and delivered on time. Tribal West, proud to be family owned and player operated. Tribal West, look good, play better.
Welcome back to Clyde Field at Utah Valley University. This has been a great event. It's been well attended. It's been well organized. A great job by Utah Valley head coach Brian Barnhill and his entire staff. Sure, we appreciate being out here. I definitely appreciate the opportunity to work with Jordan Harris and to have worked with Dave Leach yesterday morning.
Got a shout out on Twitter from Zach Stout, the brother of Jake and Josh, watching from San Antonio. Zach, a former Westminster lacrosse player.
Anybody with any questions, comments, positive comments, we would hope. Don't hesitate. What is it? At VV?
At VV Lacrosse.
At VV Lacrosse. Or at Lax Talk Radio. I will respond. Maybe not quite as promptly, but I will respond.
Yeah, there's actually 4 Stout brothers. Aaron, the oldest, he played at Utah as well. Their dad, Randy, was a fixture in the local community for years.
Turnover for Utah is going to give the ball back to Colorado. They'll look to cut the deficit to 5.
Colorado Buffalo possession.
Utah in a drop 3-3 ride here. At this point with a 6-goal lead, it's just don't give up quick, easy goals. You can give up a goal or two. Just got to make him earn it, make him take a little bit of time. If you're Utah, that's okay.
A little bit of lacrosse news out of the state of Colorado at the high school level. There were new lacrosse records set today. At the Dawson School, there's a young man by the name of Gavin Pure. There's a goal for the Buffaloes. Kian Reno scores it, and it's 14-9. Here may be the mini run that they need. Back to Gavin Pure. In his career, 226 goals, 155 assists, both Colorado State records.
That's pretty incredible.
And coaches, this kid's not committed yet.
Well, let's see if he's interested in BYU.
Maybe. Maybe. He doesn't know what he wants to do.
Colorado playoffs get underway here soon, and they've moved to an RPI model, right, to seed the playoffs?
They have moved to an RPI model. It's going to be interesting to see it shake out. You can catch some of the preliminary round action as well as all of the 5A quarterfinals, semifinals, and the 4A, 5A championship game on Lacrosse Talk Radio beginning the week of May 7th, the week I'm out of town. Quarterfinals duty going to be handled by CBS 4's Michael Spencer. Andrew Onadera will be on the sidelines, and I believe it will be former Columbine head coach and Under Armour All-American coach Matt Plitnick heading up the color commentary duties for those 5A quarterfinals. Yours truly will return for the 5A semifinal action.
Utah High School has a little bit of a unique way that they do their playoffs. They do an RPI model as well, but they don't seed the divisions until the end of the season.
Ball works across to Jake Stout. He cuts all the way across the top of the box. Is it me, or has Jake's role for this team changed a little bit? He was more of a scorer as I remember him in the previous couple of years.
Well, Jake was a guy that can carry an entire team, and so this Utah team has added a ton of talent. He hasn't had to play the same role that he was playing last year, where he's responsible for a chunk of the goal scoring. They have enough other threats, he doesn't have to, but certainly capable. You saw in games like Oregon where he went off and scored several big goals for the Utes, so he's totally capable, but it's a credit to Jake being a team player for his willingness to step into a different role this year and not be the same goal scorer that he's been his entire lacrosse career.
Redmond makes the feed across.
Good check.
Cottrell takes the stick out of the hands of Lanigan. Cottrell comes down the length of the field, makes the feed down to Escape. That ball comes up to Roach. That was a nice handle there.
Good job by Roach getting his. So that's not a great feed. Roach makes up for it.
Barker with a head of steam. He's going to run down,
right
fires one off the pipe. Ball works back to X. Escape. Reno gets the run. He'll be forced down toward goal line extended and throws it away, intended for Escada. Still 14-9, 11:40 left to play, fourth quarter.
Yeah, you just contrast these offenses. You've had seen almost none of that from Utah's offense today, where they just throw the ball away. Every time that CU's had to stop, it's either been a big save or a check or something else along those lines. But for Colorado, they've been turning the ball over themselves, just errant passes that are getting missed or overthrown, and it's a big difference in the game. And this aggressiveness from Utah, you see it, they swarm. Every time that ball's on the ground, they're flying to it.
All four of the Eastern teams in the UMLC Division I ranks will be battling it out for the AQ. Purdue with a 14-3 win over Minnesota State. Mankato makes that happen. Pass up top.
Yeah, and whoever wins
into the offensive zone. Nice job there. There's a tic-tac-toe pass and a goal for the Utes. That goal to Watson on the back door.
That should just about do it here if you're tracking the trends of the game here. If you're Utah, you can kind of slow the pace down, not worry about it. I imagine they'll probably push the same way. They don't need to, but there's no hurry for them to do anything here. You're up by 6 goals with 10 minutes left. It's a good spot to be in a team with a great goalie, good face-offs, and a solid defense. But yeah, that UMLC AQ, they're going to get the honor of playing a team like Utah or
Chapman.
Yeah, so congratulations. Now go to Salt Lake.
Enjoy your trip to Salt Lake and your consolation game.
Right. If you need some ideas of what to do on the day off, we'll let you know. We'll have some good things to do in Salt Lake here.
Yeah, that's a tough thing, but at least you get to make the trip, and it's a nice experience for the team. And you know, in my opinion, I think all of the teams should stay for the full week. I mean, unless you've got to get back for finals or graduation or something, make the trip, make it worthwhile. Stay in Salt Lake or wherever that tournament is, and just soak in the experience and watch some of the kids that are doing the same thing you are excel to the top.
And for some of those teams, it's a budget concern, staying the whole week. They'll get a hotel for a night or two and they'll take off. Or like in last year's case, Oregon, they took off because they were in the middle of finals. So they lose in the first round. They've got finals. They get their kids back there to do school. And so it's a tough balance, but you're right. The experience of being here for a week is very cool. The MCLA does a great job of making it feel big time. It's a big time event for anybody who gets out there. And so it's a fun place for them to come out here and be.
Costa makes a save off stick side hip. Utes will work the clear inside of 10 minutes to play, quarter number 4. Buffs need a run, and they need it now if they're going to have a chance. 6 goals in just under 10 minutes. It's about a minute and a half a goal. And you can't give one up at this point. So the Utes have the ball at the top.
Yeah,
a goal here pretty much ices it for Utah.
Yeah, as Utah being the RMLC champions, they'll be the first team besides that's not BYU, Colorado State to win it in what 20-something years. I think that might be the first team besides those. Well, I guess on the RMLC trophy, I think Colorado College is actually on there from years and years ago.
Way back when they were actually a club team, which would have been, wow, 30 years ago?
It was a while ago, but I think Colorado College is on the trophy, and the Utes will be the first team to stamp their name on it that's not BYU, CSU.
Nice save by Riley. Kavanaugh Fernandez on the doorstep. That ball gets pushed in, like and it is now a 16-9 lead.
It's a frustrating one if you're Riley because that's your old player throwing it back. Those are little fundamental things, and it's building up here, and the Utes are up by 7 big, and it's a pretty safe bet to say that they're going to be the first team that's not BYU, CSU, and CU to win the RMLC championship. In the modern MCLA era. So a lot of firsts for the Utah program this year.
70% offensive efficiency for the Utes today, 69.56.
That's great. Yeah, you look at, you talk about the MCLA, the majority of teams in the league, they have maybe a full-time head coach, maybe a small majority. A lot of them are part-time volunteer assistants or whatever. Utah has 4 full-time coaches, and you can see the difference it makes on the field. They look like a different team than a standard MCLA team.
Right.
They look like a team that's been in the weight room. They look like a team that's been practicing and doing film. So all those things are paying off for the Utes, and those resources have led them to build a really, really strong team this year.
Well, and in all honesty, the top 10 or 15 teams at the D1 level are doing the same things. Not quite the same goal. Not to the same end.
Not the same scale. I don't know that there is a full-time assistant in the assistant coach in the MCLA outside of Utah. I think Michigan, when they were in the MCLA, they had Kenny Brochart, who was a full-time guy. Love to see BYU figure out a way to make Taylor Redd a full-time guy. I'm not sure it's possible, but that'd be a huge move for them.
Russell feeds across for McDonald. Buffs want to end tournament play on a positive note, so positive things will lead a long way as they head into the MCLA tournament. Again, that tournament taking place beginning May 7th through the 12th here in Salt Lake City. That shot goes high over the cage, out of bounds. We saw a couple balls go over the fence off to the north side of this field yesterday, and when I got here, I parked my car over there and I started walking here this morning, and I'm like, I sure hope I don't regret that, because we did. We saw 2 balls into that parking lot, and the last thing you ever want to have happen is have your rental car get dinged up.
Yeah, and if you're Colorado, you got to be thinking a little bit about what Chapman was able to do last year. Chapman went into the MCLA tournament as a 9 seed, a great team that just didn't have had a rough start to the year. They were able to get to the championship game as that 9 seed and kind of give Grand Canyon all they could handle there. And if you're Colorado, you could probably do the same thing. You know, Chapman beat the number 1 seed in the 2nd round. There's a chance that Colorado or BYU will get that same type of route through. Probably not. See, I think CU will be higher, but BYU realistically could be in that 8-9 spot. Nice shot right off the pipe.
Another one off the pipe. That's 3 off the pipe today. That would make the game a whole different game.
Well, you might need 4 or 5 off the pipe to go in, but yeah, this U team is good. 16 goals against Colorado. Not a lot of teams ever in the history of the MCLA that are putting up that many goals against the Buffs.
So we've got a 30-second hold penalty coming up to Neeleman for the Utes. Neeleman will kneel in the sin bin.
No, I realized we neglected to announce the all-conference teams over the air here. That was done here locally, but we can announce the RMLC D1 all-conference teams as we watch the end here.
And that one off the side of the net for Colorado by Wharton. 6:23 to play.
Yeah, and a lot of these players are out here playing today. On attack, you have Josh Stout, who is first-team All-Attack. Chandler Westcott from BYU. John Roach from Colorado.
Nice pick by Palitz. We're heading the other way. I'm sorry, Palitz.
You're good. Other players that are in this game, you have Carter Escada, who is a second-team All-Conference player. You have
Escada. What a beautiful move on the rollback.
Escada.
All you had to do was talk about him.
That's right. Speak it into existence.
Bet Colorado would like for you to talk about more of their players right now.
Who else do we have? Yeah. And really, the all-conference teams are dominated by both Utah and Colorado, including Escada. What an inside roll. That's textbook lacrosse. Beautiful finish. The entire first team all-conference was from Utah, so it was Augusta Colonna, Jake Stout, Aaron Felstead. It's impressive. Neeleman, who just comes out of the sin bin there, he was also a first-team All-American or first-team All-Conference. And Blake Sandman and Nick Cottrell for Colorado were first-team All-Conference. So you see some of the best here for the RMLC in this game.
Buffalo's in their 10-man ride.
You got to do something here, so they're
Ball
pressing.
Works to Stout. Stout makes the feed Colonna. Colonna gets the touch.
5:30 left. You need a goal, more than a goal a minute here. Yeah, and every second is goal to Utah here. Just be patient.
Jake Stout carries to the far side. He'll roll back, give it to Kevin Fernandez. Kevin Fernandez is going to dodge the near side down to the wing. Rolls back inside. They pull it back out. Utah content to burn clock right now. If they get a great look, they'll take it. Otherwise, I'd look for them to play till the timer comes on. Dodging above GLE, taking the shot from the far side, Jeremy Sarton.
And that'll keep the shot clock away for a little bit here.
Sorry, that was actually not Sarton, that was Mackey.
Give him a little more time to run off the clock.
Now it's Olivas' turn, and the save is made by Riley.
Yeah, when you look at the scoreboard, you're going to see 16 goals, and it's not going to say how good a game or how good a weekend that Riley's really had. It's always a tough balance as you're trying to make a comeback of don't take dumb shots, but you also don't have forever.
Ball works behind the cage, near side, Esqueda. He'll carry to the wing. Buffs could have given up in the first half. They did not.
Yeah, it was those 2 runs by the Utes at the start of the game, the 7-0 run, and then they got another huge run to start the second half, and that really has kept the game out of reach the entire time.
Yeah, essentially, what was it, 7 to start the first and 5 to start the second half?
Yeah, and both of those combined.
I mean, outside of those 2 runs, CU's outscored Utah 10-6. But those runs did happen, and they count.
And that's part of Utah's game. That's part of their signature. That's what they're trying to do. They go on runs. They build momentum quickly. So you can't take anything away from them because that's how they've been playing all year.
You can listen to the re-air of all of these RMLC championship games on Lacrosse Talk Radio. Check the regional and the main pages for the archived files. Most of them will be on the Rocky Mountain region page, the 4 from yesterday. Today's games should be archived on the main page for you. If anybody wants to re-listen on Lacrosse Talk Radio, the official voice of the MCLA. Ball works to the top of the box. Utes with it. There's a rocket right underneath the crossbar by Colonna.
Yeah, Colonna's going out on a high note. He's a senior year, one of the leaders of this team, a captain. And he's had a great game today. He started off the scoring for us in the first quarter, bookending it here with a goal in the fourth quarter.
Stay tuned after the game. We'll have a brief interview with head coach Brian Holman from the University of Utah.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting story about Colonna. He was actually out at Wagner with Coach Will Manny, and before Will Manny was out here in Utah, Colonna transferred, wasn't playing lacrosse, was out here going to school at Utah, and when Will Manny joined the coaching staff, called him up and said, would you like to play? And obviously he said, of course, and now he's become one of the fixtures of this MCLA version of the Utah Utes. He's had a good season, been a great player for him the entire time. Former D1 guy that has come here and had a big impact for the Utes.
.150 seconds left in this one. Again, both teams will move on. They'll play in the MCLA tournament, as will BYU. Don't see any way that those 3 don't get in.
Yeah, they'll all be there. I think BYU will be one of their lower seeds. They've entered the tournament. I think the lowest they've ever been was 8 or 9. Maybe it was 9 in 2010.
I think it was a 9. I think they'll probably, my gut says a 7 or an 8 seed.
That's what I think. I think they're right about there. And that was the year that your reward for being a 9 seed was the number second game was against Michigan. So, yay. Yeah, funny things happened in the tournament. I remember in 2011, this was the rumblings had really started that Michigan was going to go D1. They hadn't officially announced, but everybody kind of knew it, and everybody expected him to roll in the tournament. And in the semifinal game, it was actually Arizona State, coached by Coach Chris Malone, that knocked off the Michigan Wolverines. And to be honest, as the BYU coach that year, there's no way we would have beat Michigan. We were able to beat Arizona State, but Michigan wins that game, I think they probably would have won it all.
Yeah, that was an Arizona State team with the Westfall brothers.
Good team.
Real solid team. That's a team that probably should have won a national championship at some point in time. They fell, short to you guys by 2 goals. Yep. They lost to Colorado by a goal.
Yep.
About 2 years later.
good teams. And for them, like you could see, it just took an emotional toll beating Michigan. That was their legs had gone a little bit, and they kind of won their championship in the semifinals, much to our chagrin.
60 seconds left in this one. We're going to finish with a football score on the board in all likelihood. It's 17-10. Would look for the Utes to burn the clock. Maybe not. Grayson Goodyear has the ball. Goodyear out of Valor Christian in Highlands Ranch, Colorado. One of those kids brought here to play Division I lacrosse. Coached by John Grant Jr. I guess when you get quality coaching like that, there's a nice pick by Colorado. 17-10 again.
You see that same effect in high school. You get a great coach, similar to what Utah is able to do here. Get some good coaching, good players. You can really make a turnaround really quickly.
The quality of coaching in Colorado has just skyrocketed over the last 10 years, especially with the Outlaws and the Mammoth coming to town and some of the talent that they've brought into the fold.
Yeah, you hope you see that same effect in Utah here with Utah making the jump.
Time's going to run out. The Utes will advance to the MCLA tournament. Will they be the 1 or will they be the 2?
And our final score is 17-10.
We'll find out tomorrow night on Lacrosse Talk Radio, so tune in then. We're going to step aside for about a 3-minute commercial break here. We'll come back for the trophy presentation and an interview with head coach Brian Holman. After these words from our sponsors, this is the RMLC Championship Game presented by Prodigy.
For their support, we wish you all safe travels.
Well, the Utes will huddle up, get in line to congratulate the Buffaloes on a game well played. The Buffaloes, 2 big runs, really the story of the game, and unforced errors for Colorado. I don't have final stats, but I'd have to guess that Colorado had somewhere in the neighborhood of 10 to 12 unforced errors, and that Utah capitalized on at least a half a dozen, if not more of those.
Yeah, you know, coming into this game with the Utes, because of the talent discrepancy, they're recruiting for a Division I program. That gives them a little bit of a leg up. If you want any chance to beat them, you've got to make your game as good as can be. You can't beat yourself. Can't have your own turnovers. And Utah does a good job of making it really hard and taking advantage of every turnover you make. You saw a lot of the turnovers that CU had on offense immediately turn into fast break goals going the other way. That's the tempo that Utah plays at, and that's what makes them probably the #1, if not #1, definitely #2 team in the country right now.
Don't forget to tune in tomorrow night on Lacrosse Talk Radio, 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Mountain Time, 8 p.m. to 11 p.m. Eastern Time, and we will unveil the MCLA Division I and Division II brackets. We'll also talk a little bit of NCAA lacrosse with Paul Carcaterra and some NCAA D1, maybe D2 and D3 coaches as well. So don't forget to miss that, not to miss that tomorrow night. And then if you want to find out a little bit more about what Lacrosse Talk Radio is all about, we've got a ton of games coming up next week across all 3 regions. In the Mid-Atlantic region, it'll be Caesar Rodney and St. Peter and Paul. It will also be St. Paul's and St. Mary's. We'll have the CAC semifinals from York College. In Denver, we'll have Columbine and Regis Jesuit on Wednesday, and Cherry Creek and Kent Denver on Thursday. On Friday, we will have St. Vincent, Galati and Genesee out of our easy for me to say, out of our Mid-Atlantic region, Mountain Vista and Arapahoe out of the Rocky Mountain region, and maybe we'll have the Lizards and the Outlaws
Very cool.
on Lacrosse Talk Radio as well. So the programming on Lacrosse Talk Radio, fast and furious. we will also have the World Series of Youth Lacrosse out in Denver in July. We will carry 66 games, maybe 67. We're in negotiation for the championship game in 2.5 days. We're going to take a quick 30-second break here. The RMLC championship game, the Utes win the Division I RMLC championship here in Orem, Utah.
You only need to answer one question.
Will you accept the challenge to become?
No matter where you are in life, no matter your interests,
From award-winning business
and STEM to performing arts programs, there's a place for you. A place for you.
a place for you at UVU,
A place to engage, to rise,
to succeed.
to become.
We are back at Clyde Field at Utah Valley University. We are waiting for the trophy presentation. The Utes have their the way they do things, and they're not going to break that up for anything right now. They're huddled up down in the near side corner with their post-game meeting. They must not want that trophy, would be my guess. What are your thoughts there, Jordan?
You know, I think that they have their sights on something bigger. Yeah, I always love the tradition in hockey. If you ever watch a team that wins the conference championship to go to the Stanley Cup, the captain will go out there, take a picture, doesn't touch the trophy, and he'll leave. I think the Utes are kind of a little bit of the same way here. They're a team that has their sights set on bigger things this year. This is probably a step in the right direction for them. But at the end of the day, what they do is more important than winning the RMLC championship, and that consistency is what got them here.
Yeah, not a doubt about it. A great performance for the Utes today. See what they can do to replicate it next week, starting on Monday the 7th at the MCLA National Championship Tournament. My guess is they'll be looking at getting the winner of that UMLC championship, be it Purdue or anybody else.
Yeah. Well, we have a shout out as well on Twitter from the Kelowna family who's on the East Coast streaming the game. So thank you guys for joining us. Hopefully you get a chance to see the trophy ceremony here in just a second after Ute comes off the Utes come out of their team huddle. As we mentioned, this will be the first time that the Utes have won the RMLC championship, so they'll leave on a high note in the conference, winning that championship for the first time.
We're going to take another short break here with the Utes down in their huddle, and we will be back with the trophy presentation right after this.
My name is Pat Young. I started my college career at University of Maryland, Baltimore County, and finished up at University of Maryland College Park. I currently play for the Ohio Machine. This is the Under Armour Banshee. It's the mid-level lacrosse cleat. What I like about it is it's got a low cleat feel, but with the protection of a mid to high cleat. I'm usually a guy who likes to protect my ankles, but I don't like to lose the mobility and feel like I'm wearing a heavy cleat. UA Banshee, untouchable, unstoppable.
Nice of them to finally make the effort. Welcome back, everybody. Dan Matthews here with Jordan Harris. The Utah Utes are your RMLC Division I champions. We will have the trophy presentation with head coach Dave Leach. And then we'll get a chance to talk with head coach Brian Holman. And this time my partner's going to have to come up with a question or two.
I think that's your job. I'm just the color guy.
The color guy is the one that does the interviews. Usually he's the one we send down at halftime to do the interviews.
On behalf of the Rocky Mountain Lacrosse Conference, it's my honor and privilege to present for the University of Utah men's lacrosse team the trophy for, it's hard to say, Division I RMLC champs.
The Utes are your RMLC Division I champions in 2018. Congratulations to the University of Utah. If you pan out on a wider shot, you can see the Utes crowd. They are going to go take the team picture first. I think at this point, I don't know what we'll keep it here for right this second. But we talk about the mission of what's going on at the University of Utah, the expansion and westward growth of this sport. And it started a few years ago, well, a long time ago, when the University of Denver added lacrosse. Air Force has had lacrosse for a long time, but now you got another team coming out west, and it's going to be the University of Utah. You have scheduling situations which are at times nightmares, but it's going to create an opportunity for more teams from the east to come out here and get 2 or 3 games if they want them. They're going to have to jump on another airplane real quick and make an hour-and-a-half flight over the Rockies to do it one way or the other, but it's going to start to bring the level of play at an accelerated pace out west. I know that there's speculation about the Pac-12 adding men's lacrosse at some point in time, the women's tournament taking place in Boulder as we speak. What kind of timeline are we looking at? We'll get back to that in just a second. Head coach Brian Holman making his way over to chat with us. And there is head coach Brian Holman. Hi, Coach. Thanks for joining us.
Absolutely.
Coach, let's talk a little bit about the philosophy of Utah lacrosse and what got you guys to this day where you're hoisting that RMLC championship trophy.
Geez, I could go on for a while about that, but I think, Dan, a big part of it is you know, just work hard, right? You know, we talk about hard work pays off, and you know, we have a couple of sayings in our program that I think the kids really buy into, and I don't even like the word buying into, because if I got to sell them on it, I don't think we're doing the right things. But you know, it's no excuses, and we find a way. You know, so I'm not going to make any excuses if we go up by 5 or down by 5 and they make a run, and we're continuing to search to find a way just to get better. And I think our biggest philosophy is that we just try to take care of ourselves and focus on what Utah can do better and not worry so much about the opponent or anything else that's out there. So that's it in a kind of a mini snapshot.
Coach, you talked a little bit about that focus of doing what you do, and if you do it well, you come out on top. If you don't do it well, you may or may not win a game. Yep. You got the MCLA tournament coming up. It's going to be in your backyard. What are the expectations out of your boys and the performance of your team as you enter that tournament and being the host of it?
You know, none that are any different than the first game we played out in California. I mean, our expectations are to be the best possible program we can be and compete at the highest possible level that we can compete at and prepare properly. And whatever is in front of us, that's what we focus on. So we talk about climbing mountains, you know, happens to be out here in Utah. We climbed one today and a great opponent in Colorado, a great history. in the RMLC. That's the one thing I'm really proud about with the guys. I told them about Colorado State's history and Colorado's history and BYU's history. You know, our history, you know, hasn't been great. So you know, it's humbling for us to play these teams and be able to beat them, and our guys understand that. So no different. You know, we got another mountain to climb. These guys are going to have fun tonight and enjoy themselves, and they should, because they earned it. And then we'll start back to work on Monday and see what happens.
Coach, you're rewriting history here in the Salt Lake area. Congratulations, and we wish you the best at the MCLA tournament.
I really appreciate it, and I appreciate you guys coming out and covering this thing. Really, it's good stuff. So thanks a lot.
Great being here. Thanks, Brian.
Yep, bye-bye.
That's head coach Brian Holman, University of Utah, RMLC Division I champions. And we can say they're rewriting history. Their trophy, their name's only going to be on that trophy one time.
Yep,
but it's there.
Time. Yeah, it'll be the last time.
It'll be the last year they played in the MCLA. They will move to NCAA Division I lacrosse next year. We wish them the best at the MCLA tournament here in Salt Lake City, coming up in about 10 days. It's been a great time here at the RMLC tournament in 2018. We'll look forward to doing it all again next year out here or over on the other side of the Rockies. For Jordan Harris, a big thank you to Rick Cladis and the entire crew at Prodigy Networks. I'm Dan Matthews. Till you catch me on Lacrosse Talk Radio. So long, everybody.
I'm Greg Gurenlian, known as Greg Beast. I played for the New York Lizards. I just retired from the MLL, and I face off for Team USA. An elite level face-off man looks for a couple different things. First thing is the pinch points of the head, the flex points, how it wraps around the ball. The second thing you look for is the scoop. Is it rigid enough?